Video games are emotional, there's no denying that. For some, a tragic event in a story game brings up tears, while others just stare at the screen blankly. But one thing is for sure, apart from excitement, the biggest emotions that some gamers deal with is anger.
Come on!
Now I am one of those people. I might be calm while voicing these videos, except for the last one. Nicki fucking Minaj to the game. You know what? Collaborating with artists is cool, like when they had M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold voice a character for Blackout. But you know what the difference is? Avenged Sevenfold made songs for Call of Duty and were already part of that universe! But I am a real hothead if it comes to gaming. And I finally figured out why. If you don't care and you just want to know how to deal with that one raging friend, go over to this time code. Alright, done? Let's talk gamer rage. Age has a big part to do with it. If someone's underage or even still around their 20s, they have a bigger chance to experience emotional outbursts when they are met with a challenge. Ah, shit! It would make sense as to why there is so much gamer rage present in the game community, whilst around 60% of the gamers in the USA alone are under 35. And those are some significant numbers, but not nearly as significant as the amount of people that are not subscribed. Did you know that 99.2% of people are not subscribed? Why are you not subscribed? Come on, man. Come on, man. Give me something to work with here. Now, why do we get mad and when? Often people refer to video games like Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends, pointed out as some of the most toxic environments if it comes to gamer rage. But it's not because of the reasons that you think it is. People think gamers get mad because of competition, not wanting to accept the fact that they are losing. But often that's not really the case. And I discovered the actual reason as to why we rage as gamers. Recently, when I was playing Tekken 8, and I am very new to the Tekken franchise, so naturally there's a lot to learn for me. And on a side note, yes, this game slaps. It's one of the best fighter games ever, the best fighter game of 2023. And yeah, this game does the opposite of making me rage too. When I win games in Tekken, I sometimes even cheer out loud because of how engaging it is. But what I got mad at was not just the losing of the matches. How I see it is that there's 3 stages of learning a game that I'd like to talk about to explain where it goes wrong for so many gamers. First up, the Noob Stage. We know we are bad. We don't really care. We just want to try to figure out what each character does, which one fits us best, how the game works overall. You could relate this to finding your main character in Overwatch or Valorant, or trying to get to know a little more about the lanes in League of Legends. Even though sometimes frustrating, it doesn't flat out rage us out. In fact, we are more curious and excited to learn more than mad. I would even go as far as to argue that the most fun I've had in a multiplayer game ever was when I was in the Noob Stage for League of Legends. So wait, the Noob Stage is not the problem? Does that mean that this next stage is the problem? Well, not really. This is the Professor Noob Stage, where a player really starts experimenting. They try to see what sticks, what the, oh, and what doesn't. Ah, shit! Should I maybe flash and get the skill? Should I start a combo with this uppercut? Will I watch Overwatch Corn tonight? Often this stage gets us grinning and laughing because we either fail miserably and now we have more knowledge, or we succeed and we laugh at the opponent for actually letting us do that. Now, the Professor Noob will still get a bit madder than the total noob. For example, in a game like League of Legends, you sometimes need to accept that you just have a bad matchup and will not be able to do much. Look at my team. I'm the only one that has a positive KDA. We cannot win this, yet they still refuse to surrender. And this will be like 80% of your games if you play League. I have no idea why I'm playing this game, man. I have no idea. This is frustrating and often leaves us complaining about the system, but it doesn't really turn into rage until the next stage. The stage I am at in Tekken right now, the stage that causes controllers to fly through the room, the stage that works better than any pre-workout, is of course the Impatient Stage. You know pretty well how the game works. And all you need to do now is to play to get more experience and be more skilled, but in our head we already possess that skill. We spent so much time in Professor Noob Stage and have so many learning moments from the Noob Stage that we feel like we've already learned everything. And this is where it starts. In a team game, we will fixate on what others are doing wrong, because we feel like it could not possibly be our fault, since we went through all that learning. We engage alone in a team fight only to lose and blame it on teammates for not following us. We yell at the smallest inconvenience a teammate causes to us, and are very vulnerable for trolls and trash talkers. With games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, we can't get mad at our teammates because we have none. So we get mad at ourselves or the opponent for simply outclassing us in skill. If you, watching, think that you aren't in this stage, make sure to think critically again. This is the stage we are stuck in the longest. I was stuck in it for 2 years in Overwatch and 3 years in League of Legends, and only just now landed into it in Tekken 8. It's a very sad stage where we are very vulnerable to a lot of issues coming our way. It even impacts our health. We can start experiencing stress, depression, anxiety, or even addiction, and the people around you will all blame the games. Well, in reality, it's kind of in your own control as well. Let's get into that. Now, I am not a therapist, but I do want to give some advice on how to deal with our rage. First, I'll handle it from the rager's perspective, and then for the friend or teammate's perspective. One of the mistakes that we make when we are starting to lose control is bottling all our emotions up. Although causing damage to others or objects around us shouldn't help either, a quick yell, a scream, or maybe a laugh can do a lot with that anger. If you don't want to bother others with your rage, make sure that you're muted so you don't just yell and scare people. And if a family member or significant other asks you why you just yelled, just tell them you get jump scared or something. That's my biggest hint. The second is very simple, and you've heard it many times. Take a break. Anything might work. A frustrated workout is still a workout and probably better than staying behind your monitor and making it worse. Go take a walk. Go pet your dog. Stuff like that. Another tip I want to give you is watch your sleep. If you are sleep deprived, you are very vulnerable emotionally. Frustration turns into anger. Anger into hate. Hate into suffering. Don't rely on caffeine. Don't rely on sugar. Get your rest. Okay, and one more. I already teased this, but you should be critical of yourself. After a game ended, just look on what you really did wrong. Don't stress about it in-game, or even worse, stress about your teammates in-game, since they are not in your control. Try to reflect after the game. And as hard as it may sound, accept the fact that you are still in impatient stage and that you need to open yourself to learning more. But again, I am not a therapist. If you really need help and there's a lot of mental things going on, please get help somewhere. It really is worth the money. Sometimes someone to talk to is all you need. Alright, now what can you do if your friend or your teammate is raging? The absolute worst thing that you can do is tell them to calm down. No one will calm down just because you said so. In fact, telling someone to calm down might even be worse than making fun of them, depending on how close you are with that person, of course. Getting a quick jab out of their anger might calm the situation down because they laugh at the fact how ridiculous they're behaving. As long as you think about the joke before making it, of course. But obviously, that is not the best way to deal with it. As awkward as it is, sometimes it's better to ignore them. Instead of telling them they played wrong, start strategizing with them when they're back from their respawn or whatever. This is better for you, for them, and the game, since you are taking the focus off of your teammates/friends' behavior and frustration and you focus it back on the game. And often, if you win a team fight or something because of your strategy, it even gets your accomplice to calm down. Changing the subject might work as well. The best thing in general is to keep the focus off of the frustration or whatever is causing the frustration. You could ask them how they feel about the YouTuber Embothius, and if they know about the fact that 99% of people watching are not subscribed yet. Or maybe talk about the weather, I don't know, probably better. And if it's someone playing a game in the same room with you, any kind act will help. Getting them some water, something to eat, encouraging them. There are all great ways to calm them down. As long as you don't acknowledge their behavior, because believe me, we know. I am pretty sure that the biggest part of rage gamers, and probably the biggest amount of rage gamers watching, are aware of our behavior. It might be the reason you're even watching this video. We know and we don't like it. We want to be better and are trying every day. Something going as far as locking in Mercy, Yumi or Sage while typing all friendly in chat and shit. But that won't change who we are. We are simply more emotional than others. And though that does have its downsides, like raging, it also has its upsides. Crying because of Red Dead 2, cheering because you beat down an opponent you thought would kick your ass, and of course absolutely loving the shit out of the games we play, the things we do, and the people around us. This is Embo, signing off. Cheers.